Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to show some love for a highly underrated amplifier. And right here we have the PRS JMOD 100, the John Mayer signature amp from PRS. It was created around 2017. He had a prototype pretty much from the get-go when he was with Dead & Company, and then around 2017 is when these went into production, and they were only in production for right around 3 years or so, and then they were discontinued. And I think it's a highly underrated amp, mainly because it packs a huge punch. It does the John Mayer thing, obviously. This is his signature amp. But I think a reason why it's also underrated is just because of how much it costs from the get-go. I think together with the amp and the cab, it was going to be like $7,000. Pretty pricey, and if you take into account his original 2-rock signature, I think that was going for like $10,000 altogether. It's still quite a pricey amp for a production amplifier. So today I just wanted to kind of show some love for it, take you through some tones. I'm really happy with this amp. I got it for a good deal from a friend, and it's gonna stay in my collection for quite a while. So underneath it we have a Mojotone cab. It's a 2x12 with G1265s, and it's mic'd with a Royer 121 and a SM57. In the effects loop, because this guy doesn't have a reverb unit, I'm running my Axe FX3 right behind me into the effects return on kind of a lush spring reverb, and this was a new release on the Fractal Axe FX3 and FM9. It's kind of like a really nice 2-rock reverb. So got that going. Really happy with this cab, but some really cool news. I was able to get in touch with PRS, and they are sending me a brand new JMOD cab that should be coming shortly, and it's just going to be nice to have everything matching. It's a little bit different. This is open back cab, that other one is closed back. So on the floor we also have some pedals, kind of John Mayer style pedals. We have the Keeley Katana as a clean boost. We have a TS10 from Ibanez and a Nordvang Gravity Klone. We're just going to run the Klone side and not the tube screamer side, since we have an original TS10 on the floor. Going to go through all those tones, take you through some of my favorite settings, and kind of what you can expect if you have one of these amplifiers. And this is my trusty Michael SX heirloom. It's nice and aged by them. It's a beautiful guitar, kind of like a 63, 64 style set of pickups right here. So let's go through some of the tones. This is what I have here. The input gain or input volume is right around like 2 o'clock. Same with the treble. The mids, I have that around 10 o'clock. The bass, I could probably dial some of that out, but I'll leave it at around 1 o'clock right now. And then the presence is right around 3 o'clock, and the master volume is also right around 3 o'clock. You really want to push the master. It is really, really loud in here, but it's worth it. Again, reverb coming from this guy. So here's the tones I have dialed in. Alright, so that's the clean tone. Let's go ahead and start messing with it. Let's start with everything on the EQ at noon, even. Let's go volume. I'm going to also turn the presence, but we're going to leave the master where it is. Here's some tones. All right, so not bad, just a little dark. Let's go ahead and flip the bright switch on. All right, so that's the bright switch. We'll mess with that in a little bit. So let's go ahead and dial some of the mids back, see what that does, and then let's bump the presence up. So in my opinion, you can get pretty close to that 2-rock ballpark. You have to dial some of the presence back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dial that back. We're going to get the volume up a little bit. And let's go ahead and push the bright switch and see what that does. Maybe add a little bit of treble. Okay, so it can do that sort of thing, but where I think it really starts to sound good is when you start pushing the presence up. Hear how open it gets? All right, so let's go back to my original settings. We're about here, and then let's get some bass. Let's start kicking on some drives. We have the TS10 first. All right, and then maybe some neck. It is noisy in here, mainly because I'm sitting so close to like a 5x8 walk-in closet. All right, there's the TS10. Let's go ahead and switch on the Klone side of the Nordvang Gravity. All right, now let's go ahead and stack them for that nice lead tone. It's going to get loud. All right, let's turn these guys off. So this thing really sings. It's super punchy. The power section, let's talk about that. So it's a 100 watt amp A lot of people think that it's kind of quiet, which kind of is. I mean, in here it's just like incredibly loud, but you have to push the master volume up quite a bit. I would say right around 1 o'clock is when it starts really opening up. But from what I've heard, a lot of that wattage is getting transferred to the transformer, so you're not flubbing out on the low end and you're getting that percussiveness. I would say this is more like a Dumble or Two Rock mixed in with a steel string singer. So the steel string singer is like super punchy and percussive, and then you have this really nice mid-range thing going on with the Two Rocks and the Dumbles. But yeah, overall, really happy with this amp. Hopefully in YouTube land it's coming through nicely, especially with these mics and everything. But something that I plan to do a lot with this guy is to use the aux box, as even though I'm not using it today, I think it sounds really good with their boutique 2x12 and can be used for recording purposes, but also I've been capturing this guy for the Quad Cortex, for the Fractal, for their Tone Match, and also Tone X. It just comes out really nice, super percussive, beefy sounding, open, takes pedals really well. So overall, I think it's a highly underrated guitar amp for John Mayer fans. I think mainly because it was limited quantity, also wasn't produced for very long. It was kind of expensive, but now you're starting to see them pop up every once in a while on Reverb, which is why I got so lucky with this one. But hopefully I'll get some more content out later with this guy, maybe compare it to a couple of the Two Rocks that are here, traditional clean combo and Two Rock Crystal, both kind of in that John Mayer territory. So hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think about it in the comments section below. Take care.